Hello, it's me, Chef. Today I will show you how to make steak and sauteed onion and mushroom. Oh. Remember to wash your hands before you do your cooking because that gets rid of all the bacteria. Now that you're nice and clean and no more of bacteria on your body, let's get to the things and ingredients you will need to make your steak and the mushroom and onion sauce. Cutting board made of wood, frying pan, metal frying pan, mushrooms, 2 onions, Worcester sauce, butter or Maybelline, soy sauce, cooking oil, tongue, ceramic knife, steak, salt and pepper. First, let's start with the mushrooms. As you can see, these are fresh white button mushrooms. We don't really want to use this phallus part of the mushroom, so we can rip it off. And then you see how it's very dirty. We just gonna wash off everything and then we're gonna chop it up. Now that your mushrooms are nice white and washed and without a phallus, we can start chopping them. So just take your ceramic knife, because ceramic is better than a metal knife, and you just want to cut it like this in straight lines so that it comes out in straight lines. So we just cut like these. Now you don't want to make it too small, but around this size is recommended because you're gonna be sauteing it in the frying pan. Now that your mushrooms are very nice and ready for the saute, we can move to the other side of the cutting board and start with the onions. And now for the onions, we just want to do the same thing as we did last time, and take your knife and cut over here like this in a line, and then over here, and then you just want to peel away all the blackness that is in the onion and just leave it with the white, because you don't want to eat the dirty brown parts. That's no. So we just cut here and over here, and then you can just peel away at the skins of the onions until you feel like you're ready to eat the white part. And when you have finished, it should look something like this. And then you take your onion and then your knife, and you're just gonna cut it straight down the middle, like over here, so that it makes semi-moons. And once you've done that, it should look something like this. And now instead of cutting it into lines, we just want to cut it into more semi-moons, so make smaller semi-moons. Now you don't want to make it too deep like you did with the mushrooms. You just want to make it nice and like this, and then you just want to leave it like that. And then you do the same for the rest of your onions. And after that, we can leave it on the side while we prep to cook our steak. After you have cut it up, the rest of the onions like you did, and they're just gonna look like this, and they'll fall apart, but it's okay because sometimes in life things tend to fall apart for no rhyme or reason. But it's our job to just keep going, but it's okay. But this is what we actually wanted to happen, because we're gonna make it into something to put on top of the steak. So now we can move on to the steak. Now take the first frying pan that you've taken out of your collection of frying pans, and you put it on the stove, and you will just turn the heat to a medium hot, not too much hot. And then put a little bit of the vegetable oil, just a little bit, so that it can heat up just a little bit. And then you take your butter or marmalade, whichever one you use. You don't want to use too much of the butter, because otherwise you're just gonna be eating butter, and that's not very healthy for you. I mean, if you want to make that life decision, then all the power to you. But today, I'm trying to not be too fat, so I'm just gonna use a little bit, just maybe that much. Okay. And we'll just soak it in with the oil. That's okay. Now we just want to lower the heat to very low once it actually starts feeling a little hot. Then you take your steak. This one is New Yorker style meat steak. I don't know why they named it that, but it's okay because steak is a steak. So you just want to place it on, slowly sizzle. Now, as you can see, the butter is still melting. You just wanted to get it around all the juice. You take a little bit of salt. Just sprinkle it on the steak. And take a little bit of your pepper. And you sprinkle it on the steak. Now, it's good to do this on both sides. Other times I will also use some red wine, some Merlot, or something like that. But because we're still on a budget here, so we don't really have the kind of luxury to afford it. So let's just move this to the other side, and then we can cap it with a lid, so that just like steams it up inside a little bit. But always keep it on low heat. Now we can start on the vegetables that we made before. Other pan, again medium heat. Now it doesn't really matter which one you start with, but I like to start off with my mushrooms first. Let me just get the mushrooms on there. You can add a little bit more of the oil. The mushrooms do naturally have a lot of juices inside, so you don't really need too much. But you just want to get like the get it started, you know. Then you take your tongue and then you just slowly just let it cook on all sides. After a little while, the mushrooms will turn into a nicer color, and then that's when you can move the onions in. Now, if it looks like there's too little oil, you can just add a little bit more. What I'm going to do now, check around the edges a little bit. Now that the mushrooms have turned into a little bit of a browner color, we can move on to the onions. We'll just slide everything in. Everything goes in. Never waste food, you know, because there's kids in Africa that are starving all the time, and everybody always says you should finish the food because there's kids in Africa that can appreciate that food, but they can't, so you should finish it. But that doesn't really make sense, you know. Just because I didn't eat something and I throw it out doesn't mean that the kid in Africa can't enjoy it either. Like, either way, he's not gonna have food. So if I'm full, I don't need to be eating more, you know? So that argument doesn't really make sense to me. So we just saute it a little bit like this. You can lower the heat so it's around the same as the steak that you're cooking. And then we add a little bit of the soy sauce. Not too much. And then once the onions get that nice golden color, it'll be good to eat. Now you do want to add just a little bit of the Worcester. Not too much though, because this one's very strong. Just a little bit. A couple drops here and there. You know, just... That should be good. Once again, pepper. You don't need to add salt to this. Now once your meat looks like it's ready to turn over, you can turn it over to the other side. Let it sizzle a little more. You can also turn off the heat a little. You get your plate, steak, there you go. You made lots of onions and mushrooms, and you have nice steak to eat it with. Thank you. And now, as you can see, still a little bit pink on the inside. Not too much pink. That's okay, and it's good to eat.